test. It was too cold to think. Hey, come on, come on. Andrea, Andrea. No, I don't know if you gave her the whole bag or not. Test, test, one, two. Only one night though. Go sit down. Round table, wicker table. Round table or red table discussion. All right, y'all, we live. So those who are watching, good evening to you. Pray that everything is well where you are, that you're able to watch us online and almost see me fall, but you're able to watch us online and you're able to follow along with us. And unfortunately, last week there was some technical difficulties. Pray that that is handled, that you're able to hear on the side that you're on. That I did not test, but I hope that you're able to hear, so that you're able to make sure that you are following along with us. And if you cannot hear, please say something on the live, so we're able to see that and we're able to fix that for you. So if you're watching online, those who are here, we're kind of sitting a little different this evening, almost like a round table discussion. Because tonight I'm going to ask for some feedback. I'm going to ask for some talk back. I'm going to ask for some responses, to get an understanding on this book that we're on, which is Leading with the Limp. Leading with the Limp. That is what we are discussing. The book that we are on. This is what, our third week. You're all right. And we are discussing on today escaping solitary confinement. Leading with the limp. We are leaders escaping solitary confinement. It's low. Okay. That's what I would rather deal with. Not that you can't hear, but that you can hear. It's just low. I can fix that. Let me know. Let me know now. Let me know now. It's gonna be a couple of seconds to catch up. So you guys see that on the board? Escaping solitary confinement. That's what we're on this evening. Oh Lord, these kids, boy. That's what we're on this evening. We are talking about tonight, this evening, the truth that sets a lonely leader free. We are going to deal with some truths that's going to set a lonely leader free. Huh? No, if they can't hear it, they got to turn it up because I turned it all the way up. They can hear. Escaping solitary confinement. So dealing with, we're going to talk about some truth that is going to set a lonely leader free because we've all heard that saying, right? It's lonely at the what? It's lonely at the top. That is somewhat true. And sometimes, in the case we'll talk about tonight too, is sometimes those are leaders who force themselves to be on top. Well, they're on top, but they're forced themselves to be lonely. They are not lonely because they don't have any help. They're lonely because they shun away help, or they shun away things, or they think, I'm all in this by myself, by my lonesome. So we'll dive into that a little bit as well. But we're trying to make sure that, yeah, just because you're a leader, you don't need to be doing it by yourself. All right, just because you're a manager, just because you're a leader in your house or your community, God didn't put you on this earth to do it by your lonesome. If anybody could have did it by themselves, Jesus would have did it by himself. He wouldn't have called no disciples. He would have told Matthew to keep on counting money. He would have left them at the fisherman's bank. If anybody could have did it by themselves, Jesus could have literally, I don't need y'all, I got this. But Jesus had leaders along with him, all right, and teaching them and training them so when his time was up, he can pass it down. But on the flip side, if God wanted you to do it by yourself, he would have placed you on this earth by yourself too. He would have placed you on this earth by yourself if God wanted you to do this all by yourself. All right, so I like how the quotes, he quotes this in the book, and this will be our first topic of discussion to help us understand some things. The view of a leader is through the way that people view leaders is through hiding from a high expectation, right? They view leaders from a lens of high expectations. It's so extreme, right? When y'all look at leaders, y'all don't look at them the same as everybody else. Y'all look at them from a point of view where they can't do anything wrong. They can't say anything wrong. We ain't supposed to make him mad. I can do anything to my pastor, and he's never supposed to cuss me out. I can do anything. I can go slap his wife, and he ain't supposed to do nothing to me. I'm not telling them to test it, okay? I'm not telling them to test it. I'm saying people think they can do anything and everything to leaders, to you, right? And think that you're not supposed to say something. As we started out this class, what did we say? As Christians, we're all leaders in our community. If you are a child of God, you are a leader in your community. All right? And there are other categories as well where leadership is and where this book can help you out in those areas as well. But if you're so if you're a Christian, people think that you're a Christian, you ain't supposed to retaliate or respond or nothing, and they will test and try you over and over again to test that theory. And when you finally break or finally react, you're supposed to be a leader, Christian. But so that we view them from a high expectation and desires. So I like this, it says, no matter how hard a leader wants to be this regular person, it's not possible. You cannot be a regular person no matter how hard you try. Wow. Ain't that strange? It's some people who will see, let's just give an example of Tony Evans. If you've seen Tony Evans at a random shop, random Walmart with some shorts and a T-shirt on, people look at Tony Evans like, whoa, like he don't own a pair of shorts. Like he don't supposed to shop at Walmart either. Because Walmart is a regular people's store. No. But when we see leaders, they can't be regular, right? Have any time that you've been a leader at your job and you just couldn't hang out with the people that you was leading or the people that was under you in that particular section of the job, right? You could not be regular. I saw this video that I want you guys to see. Maybe you, did I do it right? Okay, there you go. Y'all know her? She look familiar? All right, let me see, can I go to it? Because something it won't let me play it. Let me see this, maybe. Stop hating on me. She was getting interviewed, I believe, by Jimmy Kimmel, late night TV show host. And we know Michelle Obama. She is the wife of the first first African American president of the United States. One of my keywords is she's a black wife. Yeah, she's a black wife. We're gonna watch this video. Hold on. It won't let me do it that way. Okay, present full screen. Well, let me do it like this. Let's see. Nope. Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. Give me a second. The pressure on the leader. See? We'll talk about that too. Present. I don't know if it's gonna play. Really wanted it to. I might just do it the old way. There we go. And now I can't even hear her. Ain't that something? So she was asked the question, Michelle Obama, do you still believe in going low when others go high? I can't see it all, y'all. she said some multiple truths there for a leader to take with, right? And so she says, do I go low? Yeah. But the thing is, I don't go low in public, right? A lot of people think maybe pastors and wives don't have arguments, but they're not going to bring the arguments to the church, right? So they might have just had an argument, but you'll see the first lady in the pew. Preach, baby. Preach. You don't know. It's preach. That's a nigga. Preach. But he preaching though. Preach. We still got to get this right at that, but preach, right? You know, but some of the ladies who don't understand that leadership position, they bring that to the church too. Or you know they going into it because the first lady didn't come to church today. Oh, they must have got into it again. She didn't show up. He preaching and you look at her and she ain't saying amen this Sunday. Oh man, something must have went down at the house, right? Y'all done seen it before. It's like that. But just imagine that this is the first lady of the entire free world. She is letting us know that, yeah, her and Barack Obama probably had some misunderstandings in the White House bedroom. Huh? In the White House bedroom, right? But when it's time to stand up in public and him to give his speech, okay, it was a smile. When this is not a political sham on anyone, but hey, it is what it is. When your boy Trump got into office, there was some disrespect going on the Trump side. Guess what she did? And I'm sure, like she said, I go low. I'm sure with the Trump situation, she went low at home. She slammed some kitchen tables. She probably slammed some doors. And I heard you, Pastor. I don't think she was saying go low on your husband as far as taking it out on him, but if you're going to talk about it with somebody, yeah, express it at home with him. So I'm sure that there's some things that happens at school that Rondrea don't tell it to all of her teachers or subs or whatever that the case may be, but I hear it. So she's able to go low at the house and say, man, these getting on my nerves. It ain't going back to school. It's staying here at the house. So when she expressed that, tomorrow's a new day. But we cannot be regular people in the public. Even in the church, even as leaders in the church, Brother Selman, y'all cannot be regular people in the public, in the pew. That's what I mean by public as well. In the pew, you cannot be regular. If we putting you in leadership position, you cannot be regular in the pew. Something is going to have to stand up and stand out, because once we say those are leaders of the New Horizon Baptist Church, next thing you know, all eyes on you. From that moment on, first you had glasses on you, now you got bifocals on you. Now you got the magnifying glass on you, because now we're going to magnify and we're going to look at every little detail that they do. Brother Selman, when they come to church, he must be falling off. They can't wait. They don't know what's going on. Man, you in the hospital. Oh, he must be falling off. They can't wait to pick it out. But that's what it is. That's part of, that comes with the position, right? Everybody wants the title, but believe, and what comes with the title is eyes, is ridicule, is critique, is you should have said something. You should have been quiet. You should have stood up. You should have sat down. You should have said it this way. You should have said it that way. There is never a correct way of doing anything when you are in leadership. It's going to be always somebody. Always. Always. And you done thought it out, and you done prayed, and you done fasted before you said it. And I'm trying to say my words correctly. I don't want to make sure I step on nobody's toes, so I'm going to. And it's still not correct to somebody. So with that, I love that, because he says, no matter how hard you try, You really can't be regular. No matter where I've been, I'm not a braggadocious person, but no matter what I've been, it felt like that I've always stuck out when it became, you look like a preacher, you sound like a preacher. Whether I had on a suit, whether I had on jeans, whether I had on shorts, whether I had on tights, it didn't matter the case. It felt like that I can't be regular. I can't go and rap with the team. I sounded goofy trying to rap. I wanted to rap with the team before the games. Everybody getting hype. I want to go with it. Yeah, I done came down. I wanted to do it too. But my I done came down sounded whack. I stopped doing it. I wanted to eat the brownies on the bus too after the game, y'all. The whole team had brownies. Smelled good. I wanted a brownie. But they just wouldn't give me a brownie. I said, why can't I have a brownie? I didn't score 2 touchdowns. I didn't help y'all win. The reason why we celebrate, I was part of the victory. Come on, man, give me a brownie. Nah, preacher, you don't want these brownies. Dude, I'm not even a preacher. I'm with y'all. I didn't start preaching until after football games, after football days. Nah, preacher, I don't want this brownie. Why? These brownies got a little extra ingredients in them. So it's not just eggs. No, it's more than eggs. It's some CBD in here. It's something that's gonna get you. Yeah. Okay, I don't want those brownies, but still, it felt like I could never be part of the crowd. Anybody ever felt like that? You could never be part of the crowd. It felt like you always stood out. Feel like you was always the one chosen to say something, always the one chosen to go say something to the boss to make sure you was always the one chosen to say something. And then they couldn't even treat you like a regular person. Here it is. One of the things that was said was that the reason that happened is because no one can understand. No one really understands a leader. No one understands you. You know why they don't understand you? Because they don't have the information you have. They don't have the information you have. Some of the things, some kids in Randria's class don't understand why she's so pushy. Don't understand why she's so consistent, why she's so creative and making sure they have different ways of learning and doing all of these things because of the STAR test. Why? Because some of the information she'll tell you that a lot of her kids don't pass it. The kids don't know that information, but she has information that they don't know to push them to do great things. And it's almost like, why she got to be so rough and why she got to be so tough? Because I have information you don't have. I know things that you know. I know some of the statistics that are said about you that you don't know. Maybe you have heard it, but you really don't know, right? And so being a leader, being put in a position, let's just be honest, even in if you were the president of the United States, you think they tell us everything? You think you know everything that they get up on CNN and, oh yeah, he gonna make his address. You think they didn't told you everything in that address? No, they didn't tell you everything. They told you something. They gave you a little, window shopping view on a lot of things, but no, he has a lot of information that he has not shared with the public. And so that's why a lot of people don't understand leaders, because they don't have the same information as the leader. They don't have the vision. If I was talking to a preacher, he would say they don't have, a lot of the members don't have the vision that God gave him. That's information, right? A lot of the things that God gave him, God didn't give that to us. He gave it to him. And he has the job of trying to paint that and deliver that to us. And at the same time, when you have that information, you're trying to share that with people who really don't even want the information. That's number two. Some people don't understand the leader. Some people don't even want to understand it. They make it harder because now you're trying to show them the information and they don't even want it. You're trying to share the information and they don't want it. like a leader who has a Fortune 500 company, right? And they telling their workers all the things that they need done and have to do. And then some of the workers are like, nah, that's doing too much. Just hire me. I don't want to be in no leadership position. I just want my 9 to 5, hire me, put me on the front desk, and I'm going home. I don't want all that extra stuff, right? They don't even want all the information where a chef has to order food and order this from that place and order that from that place. No, just make me a line cook. You do all that, all the extra stuff that I don't want, all the information, all the making sure that you're getting all the organic food, I'm not doing all that. I just want to be there with some people just made for a 9 to 5 mentality, right? They don't want all the information. They don't want all the do's. They don't want all the behind the scenes work. They just, hey, I'll do this and I go home. And that's good. Okay, you got to have those people to keep a business going. But then you got to have those people that the information just can't be with one. That information got to be with a couple of others to keep the church going. Because that one ain't going to always be available to talk. That one ain't going to always be available to answer the phone. No matter how he wants to answer the phone all the time, sometimes he's not going to be available, and somebody else needs to know the information on how to keep the church or the business going and flowing. If the business only can flow when you in charge, you ain't leading. If you ain't there and the business died, you didn't do a good job teaching. Oh, you didn't do a good job hiring. That's a whole lot of things could happen, right? Because, again, a lot of people, no one understands, and some people, no one even wants to understand it. And on the flip side, because they don't want to deal with the things of the leader. And on the other side of it, no one is fully allowed, to understand. There are in some cases, you're not even allowed to understand. There are some things or businesses that you work for that they will not tell you. Got to keep it in comfort. I can't tell you this. Since we're in church, there are some things that he cannot share with us, even if he wanted to. Why he let that person back in church? Some things he can't share with you. What? He still talking to them and praying for them? Y'all, come on. I haven't been the only one that said that. Did I give myself away? I give myself away. I ain't been the only one that said that. Why he still, they ain't been here in season. Why he still messing with them? Maybe because he got orders from somebody higher than us, and he knows some stories that we don't know. Everybody ain't came to me with their stories. Some people came to him and told them some things that the church does not know. And he has to hold that information. Think of all the dirt, all the trash, all the information your pastor have to hold. Is that not heavy? That all the stuff, all the marital problems, not even all the people that go to this church. Leave me alone, Sister Jane. And not all the marital problems, somebody who got the uncle in it. I mean, it's all of that is just information. It's not like he can say, man, Sister Selman, this is what's going on this week. No, some of that stuff will have to be held down. Some of the things that he can't even tell the ones closest to him. There is, and she'll tell you, there is information that I keep from her that I can't share with her. It's not that she ain't capable of holding it or capable of dealing with it with me or whatever. It's not that she's not capable. It's that as a leader, some things I go back to it. If the president shared all of the information that he had, everybody in this world be going crazy. I promise you. I promise you. Everybody be going to the dang on mall. The stock market will go crazier. Everything would go crazy if every week the president released all of the information that is going on with the United States from all, if he released it. Because you ain't really ready for it. God prepares the leader because he knows that, hey, he's ready. I'm going to give it to him, and he's going to have to deal with it. And some leaders even crack, and God does the choosing, right? And so even though no one can understand or no one wants to understand, some of us are not even allowed to understand it. Woo! Then you wonder why they preach so hard. Because, of course, all the information that they got throughout the week, throughout the life, throughout the years, all the information, and you're like, why you got to preach so hard, or why you got to stay on that particular point so long, and why? Because you don't got the information. I bet if there was a class on teaching and education, we'll sit here and lead it because we don't got the information. But Sister Genesis get up here and teach us everything because she has the information. She has the capacity to do it. That's what she does on a regular. If I have Sister Selma to give us a rundown on the cuisine in Louisiana, I couldn't say anything. I'm going to have to sit down and listen. Because the cuisine in Louisiana, it's a little different. They use a little different spices, a little different seasoning. They make sure they butter and flour turn black before they well, they call it roux, but it looks just black to me, and I don't understand it. But she'll break it down and say, no, the reason why it's black is because, no, I'm like, I hear you. That's just black butter. See? See? I said black. She said brown. I don't understand it. But you can't tell me that the food don't taste good afterwards. Right? And so that's the things that we have to do, and we have how we're going to break out of this is lonely at the top type of leadership or mentality. Because, again, I want you guys to put this in your everyday life. Don't just say, this is for my pastor, because it is, and I need to understand him more because we do. That's why we have to be more patient with him on things because, again, he has things and knows things that we do not, right? But also I want you to put this in your marriage. It's good for that. Because sometimes your husband have information that you might not need to know right now. And don't be upset with him because of that. If someone tell me, hey, I don't need you to tell no one, man, this is between me and you. Baby, he said it's between him. I can't. So stay out of my office. Stop trying to sneak in my conversation. but I'm saying to put this in every category as in your marriage, in your Christian way of living, right? All of that. Because you're going to be talking to unbelievers. And the reason why a lot of unbelievers say and do what they say and do is because they don't have the right information. They don't know. Philip and the Ethiopian eunuch says, how can I know? I need somebody to teach me. The unbelievers talk and do what they do because they don't have the correct information. Y'all missed that, right? They got information. They don't have the correct information to make a proper choice. Because if you had a correct information concerning the Word of God, you would make the proper choice. Or you would just be ignored, or means rejected, which causes one to be ignorant. All right, so a leadership team, a community of friends who will suffer with and delight in one another. That's what we're building, a leadership team. A leadership team a community of friends that will suffer with. Y'all got that first point? Community of friends that will suffer. Not apart, not at a distance, but who is willing to suffer with. That is a dream team. Somebody say dream team. A dream team of leaders who are willing to come together and suffer with. The 12 of the disciples, I keep saying 12, but later on, the 11 disciples, they went on. They made another 12 because your boy, they had to replace one of them. But anyways, to suffer with a community of friends that are willing to suffer with. Friends who will suffer with and delight in. That's basically what you can remember. Suffer with, delight in. And I keep going back to those disciples. They were a community of friends, and all of them had a chance to suffer with. Suffer with and delight in. All of them had an opportunity to suffer with. If you go down the line, maybe one day we'll do that, where I can give you all the disciples and what they done and how they suffered. Somebody say suffered. How they suffered. They suffered with Christ. Some of them met their demise on the cross too. And say, you know what, don't hang me like him, but you can hang me upside down. Some didn't get to reach the cross. Some came to the closest fire pit and was burnt. Some was excommunicated, put on a whole island by themselves to lose their mind, but instead revealed their minds. Y'all missed that. Wasn't just to lose, but they put it on there to lose it, but instead he revealed to us what we call revelation of his eyes like burning balls of fire. Come on. And so that's again, we have to make sure that as a leadership team at New Horizon, because this is where I'm at, right? At New Horizon, we're making sure that we're building a leadership team that is what? Going to be able to suffer with. When someone is going through on your leadership team, you are able to suffer with them. Have some empathy, not just sympathy, but empathy. You know, because a lot of the time when we suffer with someone or we think we're trying to help someone, we want it to be a quick fix, right? If it can give, we want to make sure if it's monetary, we can get that money and go on about our business. We can just go on to the next thing. But some things money ain't gonna be able to handle it. Money ain't gonna be able to heal it. It's gonna be sitting down and just hushing up and letting that person just lash out. That's one of the things that happened to me when my father died. I had someone there who didn't tell me not to cry. I had somebody there, no, don't keep that to yourself. I had somebody there, I mean, I can give you some money, but that money ain't gonna help you get over your daddy. So go on, just if you gotta say a couple of words that you know you don't want to say, go on, say what you gotta say, handle up. Because if you hold it in, you gotta have somebody there that's do more than, and leaders, we gotta more than sympathize with one another. You have to empathize. You have to carry some weight. Not just your own weight. See, that's what a leader just don't carry his weight. He carried the weight of the people who is leading. Moses just didn't carry his weight. He carried the whole weight of Israel. Woo! When they were hungry, he carried the whole weight of them, from the elders to the kids. God, what we gonna eat? When they was thirsty, he had to make sure everybody had a drink of water. When they was about to die, he had to make sure everybody went through the way to get to the other side. The leader just don't, because Moses had his own issues, right? Moses had his own weight that he had to carry. Moses had his own deficiencies, his own limps. But when you're a leader, you're dealing with your limp, his limp, they limp, her limp, that marriage limp, that financial limp. You're living with limps all through the church. Because not only do the leader got a limp, the deacon got a limp, the praise and worship team got a limp, the assistants got a limp, my wife got a limp, the kitchen ministry leaders got a limp, men ministry leaders got a limp, whoever got a limp, I got to deal with all those limps, including my own. So you'll hear things like, yeah, I'm tired, Pastor. And he'll respond back, say, I don't feel, I'm tired too. What? You tired, boss? Okay, I'm tired too. Just imagine all the limps I got to carry, and you just carrying your own. I'm tired too. So when you're leading yourself, and you carrying your weight, and you also carrying the weight of others. And so that is giving us, we got to be able to make sure that we're able to suffer with those that we're leading and suffer with those that are leading with us. If we putting you in a leadership position, suffer with us. What that mean? And in some cases, to make an example, in some cases, we ain't going home when everybody else go home. Ooh. I wish I could leave too when y'all leave. But no, I got to spend extra hours to make sure. Hey, that's suffering with. We have to learn to do that. Suffer with. Sometimes I got to pick up extra chairs. So pick up an extra thing to do because we ain't got nobody to do it. That's learning to suffer with. We have to stop thinking about ourselves only. Leaders do not think about themselves only. As a matter of fact, to be honest, they think about themselves last. Because that is what a servant is. Do the servant eat first? Or do they eat last? The servant is not making them a plate first. I guess I am the cook at my house. I guess I am. And the wife will let you know, I don't eat first. I make the food, make the plate. Most of the time I take it to her. And then she got the nerve to look in shock when I don't make a plate and take it to her. Lord. She look at me like, what's wrong with you today? Brother, sister, what you mean? But no, the one time I don't do it. But you got to be a servant. You eat last. I know that's a hard pill to swallow. That's why, again, everybody ain't meant for this. And it's okay. It's okay. It's not the end of the, everybody ain't meant for it. You're not going to hell because you're not it's okay. And I really don't like the saying that, you got to be, you was born for this. No, I wasn't born for this either. I was born for this. A lot of things I would do naturally. No. You have to work at this and want to do this. And sometimes you enjoy it, sometimes you don't. Hey. So y'all got that? It says to suffer with, but also to delight in. Be around leaders who delight in. Yeah. Too many times we are too serious and we don't have a place to unleash, to let our hair down with and to enjoy ourselves. So many times our leaders are dying at an early age because every day they just head down, 100 miles an hour, focusing on what they're doing. You got to learn how to come up for air. You got to learn how to come up for air. You're going to drown down there. You're going to kill yourself. Come up for air. Now, I know this, I don't know, that's not what John was saying or trying to make me believe, but me with my imagination, he said, John said in John, the Gospel of John, he said, I didn't write down everything. There's a lot of things that went down there. I didn't even write it down. They got me to believe that it was sometimes Jesus just said, no, we're going to chill. That's what I just want to believe. I mean, y'all can do what y'all want to believe. I mean, I know y'all think Jesus didn't even use the restroom. I mean, God, dog, he was human after all, was he not? I mean, he had some day where, hey, no, let's rest a while. Rest, and then we'll get back to it. Amen. So we have to learn how to come up for air and have some delight with each other. Now, it ain't always business, but sometimes we're going to go out and just have a picnic, go out to a baseball game. Leaders should go and enjoy themselves a little bit. It's not 100% work. Sometimes you enjoy yourself. Pastor needs a little vacation from time to time. Then I promise you, once he comes back, those sermons will be refreshed. But if we got him down here working 100 hours a week, doing all the carrying while he limping, oh, man. Then you wonder, oh, Pastor didn't preach good today. Negro. Negro, when did he have time to study? I promise you, Tony Evans got more time than any time to study. Okay, what y'all say? He got time to study. Because he got somebody else going to the hospitals, bringing them back the information that he need. He ain't no bivocation. He ain't got no 9 to 5. He ain't got no other job that he's working on. He work on Bible. And if he got another job, he's writing a book about the Bible. So basically everything he's doing is the Bible, preaching, pastoring, leading. That's what he's doing. Every day, all day. That's his job. There was plenty of years where he was teaching, preaching. Not only that, making sure cops got their guns, making sure they had kept up with all the things that they needed. Dealing with that. Dealing with life. So I got the chairs around because I want y'all to talk to me. Recall the time when you was a leader or in a leadership position and you experienced this loneliness to where nobody understood and you was by yourself, and how did that make you feel? What went on with this loneliness? And again, I don't, just because we're in church, I know we're going to say, we ain't no pastor or preacher. I keep saying that because I want y'all to really get that, right? I want y'all to be open and honest. You was in a leadership position. Do you recall this type of loneliness, or what type of loneliness did you recall, or how did it feel? What's going on? Talk to me. At them AA meetings, that's how they had their chairs, right? Okay. Yes.
And I learned to cook when I was 9, since I was 9. So my mother would leave us in the house by ourselves, and it was 5 of us. So I had to cook and clean, help them with homework, get their hair, the girls' hair combed, tied up for school the next day, help them with their homework, and have their dinner done by the time my mama come home. The house better be clean, kitchen better be clean, and I had to have clothes ironed up for all 5 of us for school for the week. So me being the oldest, that was my responsibility for us all.
At 9 years old.
From
From
nine
starting
until
at 9.
starting at 9,
How,
and
how that made you feel lonely? How?
because I was the only one doing it.
Only one doing it?
Yeah, because I was the oldest.
Mm-hmm.
And at 5, I was washing dishes. These exact same chairs we sitting in, she would pull it up to the sink, and I started learning how to wash dishes at 5, folding clothes, and they better be on the right side and folded the right way.
They had a positive effect on you or a negative effect on you?
Negative, because I was doing it by myself,
Mm-hmm.
and so I felt alone. Everybody was able to go outside and play, but I had to do that because I'm the oldest.
Mm. So do you think that's still affecting you now?
No, it's not now.
Well, I'm talking about as far as being a leader that you think you have to do everything on your own and.
Well, yeah, because now,
Do you ask for help now?
no,
Uh-huh.
no, I don't.
That's the negative thing. That's what we ask. That's what we getting down to it. Because we still at the point where I did it at 9. I'm gonna do it at 29. I do it by myself at 59. I ain't asking for no help. I ain't asking for no hand. I got it.
Yeah, I have to, because now I feel like, and it's hard for me to break myself with that, and I know that's a negative point because if I can't get it done my way,
There we go. It's coming out now. It's coming out now. It's pulling it out. So you can't get it done your way. I'm trying to get down to the nitty gritty. Yeah. And that started at 9 to the fact where you did it all by yourself. And your experience is that if I can't get it done my way, it ain't going to get done. And I'm going to throw a fit. I'm going to get upset. So they going to hear me because I need it done my way, because my way has been done since I was 9 years old. And I've never asked for help. I never asked for an alternative view. I never, even if it was easier way, no. I don't want that way. It didn't work when I was 10. I couldn't do that. Don't y'all know there's still people to this day who would rather wash dishes than use the dishwasher? I'm like, it's made for that. You don't want no help. You want to clean dish? Yeah, I want to clean it my way. Look at you. I'll use it. Let me let me borrow it. It ain't yours. Ain't never been open. Anybody else? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hopefully y'all got that. Y'all write that down. Y'all, it's good to have that. Okay.
How did that make her feel? And she said, "What you say when you say how did that make you feel when you did, because you was doing it by yourself?" So think about doing work in the church, and sometimes you feel like you're doing it by yourself, and then like you say, sometimes it's because we don't ask for help, and then it's sometimes it seems like don't nobody want to help, but you be feeling like you're doing it by yourself, and it gets frustrating, you get tired, and then but for his point is very true about sometimes it's like that because we don't ask for help, and I can come up with a whole lot of reasons why it's like, and then I need to get past that. I'll be saying, and like you said, well, I got stuff to do. It's like, well, I don't want to inconvenience them. I don't want to ask them to do, because, I know that, no, we all got to sacrifice.
And you know what? My thing why I wouldn't ask for help, because sometimes, and I have a bad problem of looking at how people do certain things already, and it makes me feel like, okay, if they handle that particular thing like that, and I ask them, if I ask them to do this, that's how they gonna handle this. So I'm not gonna ask them to do.
If they do that raggedy, they're gonna do what I ask them to do raggedy.
So I make it so hard. I know when I
Oh man, I'm glad. That's good though. We got to bring it out. Bring it out. And you're right. There's a lot of reasons of why we end up doing things ourselves. And a lot of those things is because, in our own mind, they do their stuff raggedy, or they gonna do what I asked them to do raggedy. So I'm not gonna ask them. So many other reasons, right? I've been doing it. Man, my way is the way. I don't trust nobody else to do it. Man, they ain't gonna do it because they gonna say no. Or man, if I ask them, they gonna say no. They gonna reject me. So I'm not gonna ask them. So it's so many things. But as leaders, we cannot allow those things to block us and stop us, because we will be lonely. In a crowded room, we will be. Anybody else would like to share? No? I know. And we all have to grow, because again, and that's a growing method, to say, you know what, you might not do it on the level that I want you to, but thank God that you're doing it on the level that you're on. Because if I'm honest, I have not always did it at the level that I am now, right? You ain't always did it at 10. At 9, your dish still has some food on it. Little space. Now, mom had to come back. Hey, now, God dog, come back and clean this again, right? At 12, you might have left some, but right now, that thing you can see your reflection in it now. But it didn't always start that way. Your first welcome wasn't no legit welcome, honey. You needed some work. If you go back and hear your first welcome, you're going to be like, no. Woo. Welcome once, welcome twice, welcome in the name of Jesus Christ. Y'all be putting a song to it and everything. Stop. Leave me alone, sweetie. That's for real. They said that your first song was long, was it? You didn't know how to conclude it. You didn't know how to end it, right? That's what they said? No, you was just in the spirit. They didn't know. But the first time wasn't your best time. You had to work that up, and that's how leaders lose sensitivity, that we all want to. No, you have to make sure you remember, hey, I was there. Your first time going to be raggedy. But I'm still going to ask you. Because if you don't get it, if you never do it, it's going to always be raggedy. Always. You need to practice, and leadership have to make sure that we're going to put you in a place to where we want you to be successful, but we also going to expect some mess ups. Yeah, that's right. The question was, name a time where experience where you in a leadership position and you felt this loneliness that we're talking about. But you don't have to answer, madam. I said it. You want to say it again?
Yes, but why you add that caveat to that?
Do you want to say? Do you want me to say the question again, ma'am?
I heard the question. I was gonna say.
Because I'm smiling in public. Nah.
I'm not. But I think for me, leading in the church and in the secular world, one of the similar experiences is this idea of loneliness, only because, even more so in the church, because I want to make sure that I am not releasing to people who are following me that are not yet ready for that release. So you can't vent, like how he started off saying with the Michelle Obama video, the things that I want to say, and I haven't always been good at this, but I've learned that I cannot say everything that is going wrong or how people are not doing what they said they would do and not honoring their commitments, because then you contaminate other people and you become a stumbling block for others. And so I've learned that I do a whole lot of venting to God, really. I don't even try to bother a pastor as much now as I did, I know, in years prior. I do him, but you know, he be trying to tell me stuff I'm not trying to hear all the time. But I vent to him too. But ask a lot of prayer, talking to God about it, as opposed to others. Sometimes just a car ride home, saying all that stuff I wanted to say to people who said they were gonna do and didn't. It's settled before it ever gets to anybody's ears, and so that doesn't happen. But it can be lonely.
What you said kind of went on to my next question. I know you said you vent to God, but it's for everyone. You can answer it, but it led me to there. Can you? Did you ever find someone to help you in your time of leadership loneliness?
Yes, I mean, this is still an area that God is
and that's for everyone. Did you find
blessing
someone?
me on. I have, thankfully, in pockets. That's I've struggled with maintaining friendships long term because of this. Partially because of this issue, I wanted to be able to have friends that I could go to about stuff like this, and it not have to worry about if it was gonna hurt them. That's how I would say. Like, I don't have anybody that I can go to like that and not worry about if it's gonna hurt them. But I do have that. I have parents. I have a husband. Those are the people I've been to. I'm just gonna be honest that God has put people in pockets at work. There's people, you know, here, people I serve with in pockets. Yes.
And that's a question for all of you, that even though you experience that loneliness that you guys explained, a good thing is find someone. Vent to God is awesome. Vent to God. I'm not saying don't vent to him.
Yeah, you better. You need to vent to God, because you know if you vent to him, that's far as it's gonna go. But I still struggle. I still feel lonely. I still feel like I don't have that person. But I'm a part of a pastor's wife group. It's the Lord's Women's Pastor's Wife, because, and even though I don't even like post, but the stuff that's in the group, it helps me to know that I'm not by myself and the feelings that I have. So it's helpful to me, but I don't have that. I don't have nobody that I trust enough to share, because I don't have that person that I believe that I can talk to, that I don't have to worry about it. I'm still looking for that person.
Again, vent to God is awesome, but God has placed people around here on earth that, believe me, have went through similar situations that you have, right? You believe that? Do y'all believe that? Similar, it don't have to be the exact same thing, but similar situations that you've been through. God has other leaders on this earth that have, but again, I know that it's hard to find that and to open up. See, leaders don't want to be vulnerable. We don't want to expose ourselves. Hey, I don't know. Man, how did you handle this? Now you putting yourself out there. So you dealt with this too, huh? You know?
I don't know if I need the mic or not. Everybody hear me?
No, you need the mic because they need to hear you.
Okay. For live stream, whoever you are that won't talk, thank God for lessons like these. I don't know if you mentioned what's on the screen yet. Have you said that out loud?
No, not verbatim, no.
Yeah. Honesty leads to openness. And I think one of the flaws of leadership is there's not a whole lot of people we can be honest with. While we've learned, I'm 25 years now, and what I've learned is that I'm not the only person that is going through or that have gone through some of the things that I've been through. I'm learning it more now than ever before, but it's still not a whole lot of people I talk to about it. You know, if y'all want to know one of my friends, notice what I said, one of my friends. I can say two of my friends. Two of my friends, y'all can know. I got friends. I thank God that I got friends, but two you might hear of, see more than all of the others. Yesterday, y'all got to see one of my friends and Pastor Tyrone Hannah, but I'm not mentioning his name tonight. I'm mentioning William Whitley and Dwayne Hicks. Yeah, and both of them know some stuff about my life that nobody in the world but God knows. Y'all don't even know. Say they know. There's some things that you can hear about. That don't mean you know it. You just heard it. Because everything you hear ain't true. You know, but when I say this went down, these two people can identify with some of those things. But that's not why I got the mic. I got the mic because I want to know your thoughts. And I want y'all to write them down, and I want some feedback. I really want some feedback. Individually, I want some feedback. Live stream world, if you're listening, I really want some written feedback. I want to hear from you, and think about it. Because as a Christian, you got to live holy and human. You do. You can be saved if you want to. And so what I want to know is, I want to know how, because what I believe is, I believe everybody is leading somebody. That don't make everybody a leader. I believe that with all my heart. And so with that being said, what I want to know is how you handle church and secular. Don't come back to me and tell me you handle it the same way all the time, because you don't. You're lying. Jesus turned tables over. I believe that was humanity and holiness at work. and so I want to know how you handle it, because for instance, and here's an example. There's some Christians you can talk to, and then there's some folk in the world you can talk to, and you can't talk to both of them about the same thing. One of the things that bother me as a leader is that there are those who I trust that trust people I don't trust. So, and I try to talk to people. I be real with people, and I let them know that the only person you can trust with confidentiality 100% is the Lord. My new favorite story is about how this old woman used to tell her son, "Baby, don't trust nobody but you and the Lord, because I don't trust nobody but me and the Lord." And then it came to a point in her life to where she finally called him and say, "Son, you remember how I told you all your life that don't trust nobody but you and the Lord? Because I don't trust nobody but me and the Lord. I'd like to make a change to that." She said, "Don't trust nobody but the Lord." In other words, she said, "I don't even trust," you know. So I really want y'all to think about that, because you know, because what I think people don't understand is that they really don't hear, or they don't really grasp the platform God give each one of us individually. And though none of us have the same platform, but there are some levels of trust that you get with that platform that if you break it, you won't never get it back. See, and so that's why I know you got to be careful with how you handle your holy and your humanity. Matter of fact, and I know time is far spent, but I really want y'all to think about that. I want to hear something. And if you got, I don't need stories, just if you got brief examples, you know, of how you may have handled something on the church side or the secular side. You may have handled them the same way to find out you can't do both of them the same way. That don't mean you less safe. That's not what that means. Your name don't get erased out of the Lamb's Book of Life because you acted human. But me and my wife been having some conversation lately, and one of the things that I said, matter of fact, I said it to her coming to church tonight. I say, "Baby, I know I'm your pastor, and I'm your husband. But sometimes I think you forget my humanity." That's what we had this conversation coming to church today. And I asked her, I say, don't you? And I wanted her to be honest with me. That she absolutely forgets my humanity sometimes. Because there's a whole lot of things she can tell her husband, her pastor, she don't need to tell her husband. I think he shared that part in the lesson about slapping my wife. You know, it's a whole lot of things that she don't need to tell her husband. She need to really trust God, because I know she know who I am as a Christian. She know that. She don't have to guess. She know. And so I'm saying this because I don't want us to get so caught up in our holiness to where we forget our humanity. I just love that statement. You know, remember these two things: trust and confidentiality. Somebody would say I'm being synonymous, but I'm not. Because you could have confidence in some people that you don't have trust in. and then hear this, and then I'm through, because I'm matter of fact, I'm on. Yeah, this lesson, I'm gonna deal with this. I like this lesson. And the other thing is, what I really hope as a leader, if people don't get anything from me out of my whole world of leadership, all the way to the grave, I just hope they take one spirit from me. Y'all know what that one spirit is? It ain't an easy spirit. Y'all want to hear it? Huh? I want my people to learn how to handle rejection. People that love me, I want them to learn how to handle rejection. And you know who taught me that? My daddy died when I was 1, so it wasn't him. My mom, I didn't get it from my mama, even though my mama handled it pretty well. Y'all know who taught me that lesson? The only person that could. You know who that was? Jesus. If I didn't learn anything, I learned that you're going to be rejected. And if rejection carries a great weight, it'll build a wall, and it'll mess up anything God can do with you. You got to be able to handle rejection. So y'all do that for me. I want to know how you handle your church and your secular life. Some of you can handle it the same. Some of you cannot. See, some of the people, you can't. And I'll go ahead and answer this part of it right now. None of us have it down to a science yet. We haven't mastered it yet. See, and so we got to learn how to handle that scale. Yeah, say so. Let's I'm gonna tell her really think about that, because I hear you, Sister Selma, because I bet you there's some more thoughts to your answers that carry a little more weight than what's brewing right now, because when it comes to a Christian's church and secular life, it's deep. The depths of it is great. And so that's all I got. This is a good lesson. This is a good book. And I just hope y'all take time out to get some of these books, because they're worth having it on the shelf to go back to.
Put it on your shelf. Sorry for holding you guys so long, but I think the time got away from me. So my apologies. But we've been doing all right. I just thank God that it don't happen every time, right? We've been pretty consistent with getting out at 8, y'all. So I really appreciate you guys for staying and not looking at me as far as trying to rush it, because again, this is stuff that we need, and we are trying to grow some leaders here, y'all. Amen? Amen. We trying to grow some. So we are going to pray, and we are going to be dismissed. Dear Lord, we thank you for the time that we have shared here. Lord, we thank you for this lesson that has went forth, that we're able to encourage leaders, grow leaders, influence and inspire new leaders. So, Lord, continue to give us the courage to stand, the lessons to teach, the consistency to keep going, Father, Lord, as we leave this place again. Not your presence, guide us and protect us, God. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.